Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. On the channel we post writing tips, unboxings, book hauls, book reviews and the occasional vlog. And today I have another book review for you, and it is She and Her Cat by Makoto Shinkai and Naruki Nagakawa. Look at how cute this is. It's got cats. This was translated by Ginny Tapley Takamori, who is also the translator of Convenience Store Woman. This is a super short Japanese translated literature, and if you hadn't guessed from the cover, this one, you'll know I dock marks when Japanese literature does this, where they have cats on the cover and there's no cat in the book. This one, I'm happy to report, has cats. Also, can we just look how cute that is on the inside? It does have a bit written on the back. We were in her apartment, sitting side by side and gazing up at the sky. I felt her slim fingers touching my fur. "Hey, Chobi," she said. "What is it?" I said. She didn't say anything, but I knew what she was thinking. I felt the same way. As always with my book reviews, I'll read you guys the blurb first. Before we get into that, don't forget, if you like what you see, to subscribe to this channel. Your continued support means a lot, so thank you guys so much. Alright, blurb. On the outskirts of Tokyo, in a neighborhood crossed by a commuter railway, local cats weave their way through lives and homes as their owners navigate difficult times. A cat named Chobi sends silent messages of courage to a young woman, willing her to end a faltering relationship. A gifted artist fatally misunderstands her boss's enthusiasm for her paintings. A manga fan shuts herself away after the death of her friend, while her cat Cookie hatches a plan to lure her outside. A woman who has dedicated her life to a distant husband learns a lesson in independence from her cat. Against an urban backdrop of humming trains and private woes, She and Her Cat explores the gentle magic of the everyday. Populated by both the friendly and the feral, it reveals, with heart-stopping wisdom and warmth, how, even in our darkest moments, community and connection may lead us to a happier place. So, like most of the Japanese literature I've so far reviewed on this channel, it is a dive into human thoughts, human morals. It is the look into surviving grief, surviving heartache, even going through just not knowing what you want to do or where you want to be, as well as loneliness as well. Super short book, goes through a lot of interesting human emotions, but also cat emotions. This book is written from the points of view of humans, but also from their cats and one dog. And it was just a very sweet read. It does have super cute illustrations as well at the start of each person. For example, here, each new person is introduced with one of these pieces of artwork, and they are just so sweet. Now in here there are 4 short stories. It reminded me very much of Before the Coffee Gets Cold and What You Are Looking For Is in the Library, which is here, which is, if you haven't seen my review on this, that link is above me now. This one, you go through, I believe, 4 people as well, going through various things in their life, but they are helped by a librarian who gives them a book and gives them a little key ring made of felt. So similar vibe with the 4 people going through something. This one has a cat on the cover though. There is one place that has cats. It monopolized on that. And then Before the Coffee Gets Cold, super famous. The cat on the cover, there's no cat in any of these books. This one is, I believe, 4 people as well, maybe 5. All go to a coffee shop where you can go back in time. If you haven't seen my book reviews on this and the next 3 in the series, those links are also above me now. One of the authors, which I didn't realize when I picked this up, but I'm so glad I found out, was one of the writers for Your Name, which is a beautiful anime. I'll put a picture of it here. It's an anime movie. It's about 2 people who swap bodies and the hilarity of that, but it also has a really deep meaning, and it looks at tragedy and loss as well. I absolutely adored that film. Now I might actually have to watch that tonight. Yes, one of these authors is in that. I'll write the name here because I can't remember which author, but I'll write their name down here for which author of this book wrote Your Name. My first quote is from page 5, and for me this just really highlighted being an introvert. Society is mostly made up of words. I began to realize this once I got a job and went out into the world. It was all get this done or tell so-and-so this. Work progressed only through a vague exchange of words that immediately dissipated. Everyone got on with things as if this was completely normal, but to me it was almost miraculous. I enjoyed dealing with documents. They felt permanent. My colleagues didn't seem to like this kind of work, so I readily took it upon myself to do it and was thus considered useful to my workmates. Certainly, I felt more comfortable working with documents than with people. For me, that just was a really good description of an introvert. Also, generally people with autism and things like that. Communication is so difficult. I much prefer putting some headphones on and just dealing with documents as well. It's much more peaceful. Twiddling away, working on things quietly, alone. Page 10. I liked to watch her do laundry. The clothes still smelled of her and I snuggled my whole body into them ecstatically. This is just such a cat move. This book, as I said, it's from the point of view of humans, but also from cats. And I found the writing from the cat's point of view. These authors have cats. Like, it just seemed so accurate and just the thought processing made a lot of sense. In reviews of this book, something cropped up a few times and I can see what they mean. Chobi, who is the first cat that we meet, refers to their human as their girlfriend, which seems a little bit odd, and I know quite a few people on Goodreads felt uncomfortable with that description and that put them off the book. For me, it didn't put me off the book because I thought it's a cat. We don't know what cats think. She's not doing anything, to this cat in that regard. The cat's not doing anything to her in that regard. It's just his name for the human. It could be a mistranslation. It could just be the wrong word choice used to describe the love a cat has for their owner. I personally just presume that Chobi means this in an endearing way. Just so you know, the first cat does refer to their human as their girlfriend. None of the other cats do this, it's just Chobi. But it was something mentioned on a lot of Goodreads reviews. Page 11. Since I'd started living on my own, I'd found joy in creating an orderly lifestyle. It was comforting to discover I could control my routine. Me too. There's just something freeing when it's under your control. And I know that's weird because control is not freeing. When you control the things around you, it makes you feel safe. This is probably not a good thing to have going on, is it? Oh well. I found that throughout, the cats reflect the humans. So the type of cat that comes to them is also similar to the type of human that you're reading about. So Chobi doesn't really get how to socialize, and neither does their human. Mimi praises herself a lot, which her human also does to herself. And Cookie is learning and just finding their own feet. And their owner, Kira, is really wise and calm. So I find that the cats are really reflective of the human they've chosen to be with. Page 51. I'd actually wanted him to teach me how to do it. I hoped that I'd eventually be able to catch my own prey and take it to Reina. I wanted to pay her back someday for all the food she gave me. Cat gifts. On page 91, there is a fantastic description of Cookie learning to jump. I'm gonna jump, I told her, but I had to prepare myself actually to do it. I paced back and forth across the tabletop, sticking my face over the edge, then pulling back. Gradually, I summoned the courage to jump down. Finally, I launched myself off the edge. Poof! I landed next to Mama on the quilt. I did it. It's fun. You can see a cat doing that, right? Page 115. When it came to hunting, Kira could wait for as long as it took. Finally, his prey appeared. A big pile of meatballs on a plate. Fantastic hunting, Kira. Page 117. They didn't do anything. They just existed. That happy period lasted for some time. Oh, to just exist. The modern world, I find, is just so busy and there's barely a chance to literally just exist. To just potter around the house, do nothing and yet be alive. You've always got to be achieving something or doing something. It's exhausting. Page 136 to 137. The nephew was just a great representation of Japan's overworked business workers. There was actually an artist in Japan who would draw around people. So people sometimes collapse in Japan just from sheer exhaustion. They'll just fall asleep. And this artist would draw around their body like a murder crime scene. And then the person would obviously wake up and just leave, and there'd just be this crime scene on the floor. Just to highlight how overworked people are, and that was really represented in this book. And my final quote is page 146. It's the first snow of winter. Now this, I just wanted to check. Correct me if I'm wrong, I believe in Japan that if you see the first snow from a high up place with the person that you love, then it's supposed to be a good sign for your romance or like everlasting love. So I thought this was really sweet at the end of this book. We're now going into my overall review of this book. It is a super short read, so this might be quite a short review, but I really enjoyed it. So for enjoyment, I gave it 10 out of 10. It was such a sweet and easy read. For world building, 10. I fully understood the world of the cats and the humans. For plot, 7. It was really good, and I think if I'd read this before reading the other Japanese translated literatures, then I'd probably say 10. I've read quite a few of these now, so I'm getting a little bit tired of the structure of the plot of this, but it was done really well, so I did really enjoy it. Writing style, a 7. Characterization, 8. They were just sometimes a bit samey. Representation, a 6. And then for originality, I gave it a 10. I just loved seeing the point of view from the cats and the humans mixed together. Overall, that gave me 58 out of 70, which is a 4-star read. It's just so cute. And that's it for my book review. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy what you see. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you'd like to see as soon as I upload, click that little bell down below. You can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook and Tumblr. I post book pictures as well as writing tips and unboxings on there. And thanks for watching, guys. Bye.